So we have this is kind of like a nice fresh green salad with just our simple seared salmon. We get this nice fresh salmon in here, and then so we got some blackberries and some blueberries, and of course our boysenberry vinaigrette onto there. Kind of gives it, it's kind of theme along with the evening. So then our boysenberry hummus, which I gotta be honest, like I like hummus, but when they first said we're gonna try boysenberry hummus, I was like, but like Rafa, he did a really, really good job. It's got a nice smooth flavor to it. You still taste your favorite hummus, but then it's just got that kind of like underlying flavor to it. So that one was cool. And then we have of course, our 2-foot-long hot dog. This is, we have to make these rolls in-house here. So our bakery makes these. It's a sourdough. Oh, pot roast? So we've got this is an actual sourdough levain that they make here, and then they put the boysenberry flavoring into it. And it's something that it amazes me to see them make it. And I love sourdough, just a personal thing. So this is our boysenberry pot roast. So we actually have an inside round that's cooked with those kind of flavorings, a real standard flavor to it, but then we put into that boysenberry flavor, which when you get some of those berries, it really tastes good with beef, depending on what you do with it. And then of course we got our mashed potatoes with boysenberry in it, and some nice little heirloom carrots. It's a really nice color that kind of goes along with the theme as well. Gotcha. So then our pulled pork tostadas. So we've got the pulled pork on here that's got some of our boysenberry barbecue onto it, and then just a nice little simple cabbage slaw on top, and then a little boysenberry, and then it's just a little boysenberry syrup. We just got some really nice fresh boysenberry syrup made, and it's a really good flavor with a lot of this stuff. So we've then incorporated that into our chili. So we've got the same bread that they make this with, only they make them, because I've had bread bowls before that are like, just huge as your head. And you'll just end up, and it's just not fun. These are kind of cool for a tasting. You can actually still eat some of the bread and not feel too bad about it. And then we've got our hoagie here with our boysenberry sausage. So this was a popular one that we brought back from last year, and that's the cool thing. People really, really liked them. I mean, the amounts that we went through last year was just amazing. So, and now I get to experience it. This is my first Boysenberry Festival, so I'm actually really excited for the next couple of weeks. So then we've got our boysenberry elotes. So it's obviously corn on the cob, and then they take a boysenberry butter. He actually cooks boysenberries into a nice butter, so you get that nice flavor. He brushes it on there, and then a boysenberry mayonnaise. And then, of course, the cotija cheese. And then what he did was he got a flour, it's a boysenberry flour tortilla, and he bakes them off so they get nice and crispy. And then he just pulverizes it. And then he puts that as the last thing that he kind of dusts these on there. And when I saw it, I was like, it was the coolest color. And it does add a little bit of boysenberry hint to it like that. It was really cool. And then, of course, we got everybody's favorite chicken wings with just the boysenberry barbecue sauce onto it. And it's a really nice flavor. And I mean, sorry, I grew up in Iowa, so I love wings, so it's a favorite of mine. And this one was one that I kind of played around with and kind of finished it off in the end. So we've got a boysenberry macaroni and cheese. So we have like a boysenberry jam that's mixed in there with a jalapeno puree that actually goes into the base of it. So you get like a base sweetness, but the milk solids and fats are so high onto it where it balances it out so it's never going to burn you. And then we've got the crust on top that gives you a nice kind of little saltiness to balance out some of that creamy richness of the cheese, and then a little spice with the boysenberry habanero barbecue sauce. That sauce is actually made by one of our bakers. I told him I wanted the flavor, and he just, like, before I turned around, he'd come up and brought me one, and I was like, this is perfect, because I don't like to burn people. Like, I like heat, but you want that flavor first, and he did a really good job of that. So this is the jambalaya. This was kind of something our chef from up at our hotel, she kind of played around with and ended up landing a really good jambalaya. One of my favorite dishes just as a rule, but then they put the boysenberry flavor into there, so it kind of balances out the andouille sauce. It's really good flavor. So then this was, kind of the big crazy item that I brought to the park for the festival. So we have the beast, the berry beast. So what this is actually like boneless pork loin. And you start off with, you actually have to butterfly it so you can get this, and then just you slowly pound it out. It literally takes 20 to 30 minutes to pound out one of these. Wow. But just because, like, if you pound it too hard, you put a hole into it, but it's just slowly stretching it out, and then breading it. And then, The bacon wrapped onion. It was just something that I was just like, I love bacon, and I wanted to have something in there that was like kind of just even weirdly different. So each one has about 7 to 8 strips of bacon, and just wrapped all around that raw onion that we fried it. So it's and then caramelized onions on top, fire roasted jalapenos, and then it's the Boysenberry habanero barbecue sauce that's loaded onto this. This is the same roll that we use at our Fireman's Barbecue. I just had our bakers, since it's something that we already had and I thought it would go with it, I was like, hey, can you guys just take that same recipe, multiply it times like 5, and give me like a huge roll that'll hold this like 14-inch sandwich. So it ends up, it weighs in at about just 5.5 pounds. So it really is a beast. So we have kind of a Boysenberry frosted marble cake here. I believe that's what, yeah, just white and chocolate Boysenberry. And so they've got like kind of like a cheesecake filling into it. It's just, I love cake, so I have to stay away from this one. It's really, really tasty. So okay, the 2 skewers that we have down here, the one on the right, that's our flank steak. So we actually cook these whole flanks, and then we'll shave it down, and then we put it onto the skewers, and then I marinate it for 24 hours. So you've got like kind of a boysenberry with a little Worcestershire and some apple cider vinegar mixed with some actual apple juice, and then I marinate that for the 24 hours. We take it out, kind of throw it on the grill, and then on top is actually, it's a boysenberry cream cheese. It's just real simple flavor onto it, but it works really well with it. And then this one's kind of my, we also have this as an appetizer at the Ghost Town Grill. So this one kind of came out nice. It's chicken thigh. So then you actually get like bacon and some brown sugar and some spices, and then it kind of works as like a marinade, kind of a slash puree on top of it. Then we grill it, and then we grill it with the Boysenberry barbecue sauce. So it's a cool little skewer. So we got a couple of refresher drinks here. So we actually make the boba in-house. Honestly, before I moved out here to California, I didn't even know what boba was. It just wasn't a thing that, you know, they had in the Midwest. So I got to see it out here, and so I actually, our chef Bobby, our executive chef for the whole park, I got to learn how to make boba with this. So it's kind of neat. And then we have, I believe, the Boysenberry lemonade. So just kind of nice little refreshing drinks. And then, then of course we start down some of these desserts. We have the Boysenberry Tarts, so that's all made in-house. With the filling in here, I get pallets of boysenberries in here, and I mean, just to see some of our bakers literally go through that much of it, it's really cool to see all the applications we do with it. So then of course we just got, I want to make sure they wrote it down right. Yep. So this is just a boysenberry sugar cookie. It's got a really nice flavor. One of these just happened to be, I think one of the bakers dropped it off on my cutting board when I wasn't looking, and I was like, oh, it looks boysenberry, I'll try it, and it was really, really good. So of course the Boysenberry frosted cookies, so it's supposed to kind of look like a little boysenberry. And then this one's really, really tasty. So it's kind of like a mix between like the boysenberry and then like a key lime kind of flavor in a tart. And the crust on it's really, really nice and tender and crispy. So then we have kind of an Americanized kind of like macaroon. So, but it's got the boysenberry and the kind of light hints of chocolate into it, and they're really addictive, so be careful. You got that nice coconut flavor to it. It's really good. And then this was something by one of our, actually one of my supervisors in here, Rafa. So I believe they call it in Spanish, I believe it's called buñuelos. I think that's what it's called. But we actually take our boysenberry flour tortilla, and then we cut them up, and then he fries them, and as soon as they come out, they toss cinnamon sugar onto them. And I think he puts a couple other spices. Now, just for kind of presentation, it does still have the syrup onto it, but they put a frosting on there. Now, normally this will have the boysenberry ice cream, or the boysenberry soft serve that goes onto it. And it's really, really good with the ice cream onto it. But of course, our boysenberry pie. So, I mean, the flavors are really fun this year, so I'm sure we'll see everybody there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Have a good day.